just exactly what we were looking from the Toronto Raptors. They clobber the Philadelphia 76ers 128-94. A lot of great things happened, and some not so great things happened in this game. Let's talk about the great things that happened in this game for the Raptors. First off, we saw in Game 1 that DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, they didn't look like themselves. They weren't really all that great. They weren't really a force to be reckoned with in this game, and neither was Serge Ibaka in that first game. You come to the second game against the Philadelphia 76ers, and DeMar DeRozan throws up 30 points on 8 of 12 shooting, 66%, 14 of 16 free throws. Yeah, that's right. He had 14 free throws made. He got to the line a ton in this game. Kyle Lowry, 6 of 12 shooting, 17 points. He was okay. And Serge Ibaka with 21 in this game. And you look at the guys that had a little bit of an off night. Norman Powell. JV obviously got hurt with his ankle a little bit early on in the game. Kind of a little nerve-wracking, but the good thing about this team, we have a lot of depth at that center position. So we can give guys like Jakob Poeltl and Lucas Nogueira kind of come in and take that role over. But without that, you look at guys like Kyle. You look at guys like DeMar. You look at guys like Serge. And even DeLon Wright had 14 in this game, 3 of 9 shooting. He had 5 rebounds in this game. Obviously, with the length that he has, he's going to gain a lot of rebounds like we saw. But like I just said, with losing Jonas Valanciunas, guys like Lucas Nogueira and guys like Jakob Poeltl need to step up and be that kind of guy that they can fill into that role if something happens. Now, if JV's injury is very significant, guys like Jakob Poeltl, who in this game played 17 minutes, had 14 points, 5 boards on 6 of 7 shooting, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He was great. And baby, in 16 minutes, 10 points, 9 boards, he was 5 of 7 shooting. Now, if you can get that on a consistent basis. Now, if JV's out, obviously Jakob Poeltl is probably going to get more minutes, but if they can be that consistent, that can be a huge impact to this team. Fred VanVleet was not a huge aspect of this game. Still had 4 assists in this game, obviously moving the ball very well. And the Raptors, again, we talked in Game 1. How did the Raptors win that game? They were moving the ball very well. How did they win this game? They had 23 assists again in this game, which leads to a Raptors huge victory, off also winning 10-4 in the blocks category. That's obviously fantastic. Siakam in limited time, he did fantastic. In 8 minutes, he had 4 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in his limited time, 1 of 5 shooting. OG, the rookie, the sensation, in 15 minutes, 3 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 1 of 5 shooting, missed both threes, made a couple free throws. And, it's really nice to see. As much as I'd prefer Norman Powell and CJ Miles to light it up every game, I look at a game like the first game where Norman Powell, CJ Miles, the other guys lit the game up and the Raptors came away with the victory. But you look about this game, Norman Powell, CJ Miles didn't play the greatest. I mean, they did okay. CJ Miles did come away with 5 points, 3 boards, and assists. What was that? No, excuse me. He also went 2 of 7 from the field. Didn't look all that great, right? And you look at like I said, and you look at Game 1. Like I said, DeMar didn't look good. Serge Ibaka didn't look good. Kyle Lowry didn't look the greatest, but they're going to show up when you need them to. And in this game, with Norman Powell, CJ Miles, not looking the greatest, and obviously, as Valanciunas leaving the game early due to injury, you needed these guys to step up, and they did just that. DeMar gave you 30. Kyle gave you 17. Serge gave you 21. They came in and did the job they had to do. I don't care if the bench didn't do all that great in this game, as much as I'd love to see them do great every single game. So would everybody. But it's not going to happen. Your starters came to play when your bench wasn't, and they got the job done. That's the main thing. Now the Raptors, like I said, clobbered the Philadelphia 76ers 128-94. Now to keep a team under 100 points in the new day and age of the NBA is fantastic. Now I understand the Philadelphia 76ers didn't have the Joel Embiid, but they shot 39% from the field, 33% from the three, 61% from the free throw line. The Raptors did a great job defensively, keeping them off the free throw line, making shots difficult, and just being that pesky team. And they got the job done, like I've been saying. All right? That's just a great thing to see. Now, what we said in the last video was we needed to get this win because the Raptors now head on the road for a lengthy road trip. First game, Monday in San Antonio, 8:30 tip-off. Then you go to Golden State for a 10:30 tip-off. Then the Lakers for a 10:30 tip-off. And then you go to Portland for a 10 o'clock tip-off. Denver for a 9 o'clock tip-off. Utah for a 9 o'clock tip-off. I'm just going through. And then you come back home on November the 5th for a game against Washington, 6 p.m. tip-off that night. That is a Sunday evening. Now, this road trip, I wouldn't say is a big road trip, but you got to take it one game at a time. Raptor fans, don't go into this road trip saying, okay, let's go 4-2 on the road trip, or whatever the record can be. Because you can't go into it thinking that way. You got to go into it thinking, okay, we play a very tough San Antonio game first. That is a very difficult game. San Antonio, I don't care if they're getting old. I don't care about any of that stuff. They're going to be a tough team to play, and that is Monday night at 8:30 tip-off in San Antonio, Texas. It's going to be a tricky one, but you know what? If the Raptors come to play and if everybody does their job, the Raptors can come away with this. But we're just going to have to wait and see which team we see. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoyed this Raptor game, because you know what? We got the win. We got a huge win, 128-94. Always a good game to see a Raptor team blow out another team. Let me know what you guys, hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of this game. How bad do you think JV's injury is? How big of an impact do you think that'll be? What do you think of DeMar, Serge, Lowry, Powell, and CJ Miles? If you had to start somebody in the San Antonio game, who would you do? You saw Norman Powell and CJ play really well in the first game, and both guys not so well in the second game. So who would you start in the game against San Antonio? I want to hear what you guys have to say, all right? So we'll talk to you guys Leafs edition. The Leafs, they come off, obviously, an awful loss against the Ottawa Senators. They play Monday night at the Air Canada Center. They come back home, not too far, but they come back home to take on the Los Angeles Kings at the Air Canada Center. 7:30 puck drop. And also, like we've been talking about, Monday, Raptors edition, as they are in San Antonio, 8:30 tip-off, as the Raptors look to continue their winning ways and go 3-0 on the season against a very good San Antonio team. I'm praying they get the win. I'm hoping we see a good Raptor team. We'll have to wait and see. We'll talk to you guys then.